I really need to get my shit together. Feels like I've been so preoccupied with so much stressful shit since I moved to Vegas that I haven't even had a chance to just like exist here and really get my shit together. And then for most of 2021, I've been preoccupied with like hating the apartment I was in, hating the part of town I was in, and then figuring out how to move and where to move, and then moving. And then right after moving into this apartment, I had a friend staying with me for like 3 weeks visiting. And now all of that stuff is done, and for the first time I can just exist in this apartment. This is the first apartment in Vegas that I feel like I actually like this apartment and I feel comfortable in it. I like the location I'm in now. Chloe's currently doing okay and not having any health crises. So things overall feel kind of stable for the first time since I moved to Vegas. I feel like I have time for the first time to actually focus on trying to improve my life. The biggest part of that is trying to make more money, and if I can do that, I might be able to get out of the hole I've been in for so long. So I had a half day at work today. It's about 12, so I'm gonna try and see if I can get any Grubhub lunch deliveries. Another thing I'm gonna start doing is working out again. I used to work out pretty regularly a few years back, and I really want to get back to that. This apartment complex has a gym that's pretty nice, and I should really be taking advantage of that. So that's another thing I'm gonna get back to doing. I was just getting ready to walk out the door when I saw that something I was waiting for has been delivered. It's a present I got myself. Guess what it is? Ta-da! More debt! I probably look like an asshole getting a giant monitor delivered right after I was talking about how I really need to focus on making money and paying off debt right now. But I'll explain my TV situation later. Alright, delivery number 1. Genius. Is this what TV is like for most people? I'm getting audio but no picture on a YouTube video. Stand by. I figured it out. No one panic. I can't believe this is real. I had my old TV for about 13 years. I guess you could say it was like a first generation Wi-Fi capable TV, but it wasn't like a smart TV like how they are today. I think the screen was like 28 inches, and at the time when I got it, I just didn't want to spend a lot of money on a TV, and having like a huge TV screen was just not important to me. And then as time went on, I just never wanted to replace it because the only options for a larger screen were smart TVs, and I do not want a smart TV, okay? I don't want one! I know my old TV was starting to look kind of ridiculous in my living room. Anytime someone came over, they would say something about it, but I just didn't give a shit. But when I started making my own videos and started filming in 4K, and when I couldn't even watch my own videos on my own TV in 4K, I started to think maybe I wanted to upgrade. I've been wanting to buy this monitor for like a year now, and I decided when I moved this last time that my old TV was not going to come with me, and I was finally gonna do it. So this is a 43-inch, I believe, 43-inch 4K LG monitor, and it's got its own remote. It's got speakers built into it. It is, for all intents and purposes, a TV, but without all the smart TV shit. I've already got the fucking Roku monitoring everything I do, okay? Anyway, I'm just kind of amazed right now because I know 43 inches is not a super huge screen by today's TV standards, but I've never owned a screen this big. And I've never gotten to see my own videos on TV in 4K before. It's like a vlogmas miracle. The other thing that was kind of an issue with my old TV is that on the occasional times when I would play a game on it, it could be really hard to see like small text and stuff on the screen. So the only thing I have to eventually replace now for this screen is that my old TV did have a Blu-ray DVD player built into the side of it. So eventually I'm gonna have to get like a Blu-ray player and plug it into this screen if I ever want to watch any discs on it. Okay, I've taken a shower. I've got some tater tots cooking in the toaster oven. And I think I'm just gonna chill and watch my new TV, which I just can't get over. I feel like I just leapt forward a decade all at once. Oh, it's 11:30. I've done a bunch of cleaning this morning. I vacuumed, mopped the floors. I changed Chloe's litter box. I'm gonna try and see if I can get any good Grubhub lunch deliveries in a few minutes. Loving my new monitor. Okay, time to see what Grubhub has in store today, if anything. Okay, so I did one delivery and then I had to stop at the store. And then I came home to find a present outside sent by my dad. It's a bread maker. This makes jam and yogurt? Wow, I've been wanting one of these for like the past few years. Wow. This looks fancy. think I can do anything just yet because I don't have any yeast. But I'll put that on my grocery list. My dad sent me someone's review saying how you have to run it one time, like, empty first. Maybe I can try running it. Alright, I guess I'll see what happens. Okay, so there's something else I still have to test out on this TV. Don't make fun of my Xbox 360. Leave me alone! Oh my god! Holy shit, I can read the text. Oh my god. I can't believe how I was playing this before. You have no idea how good this looks compared to what I was used to looking at. I feel like such an asshole. Okay, it's about 9:30. Just finished having breakfast, doing some morning chores. I have to put my laundry in the dryer, actually. And I just finished doing my last 2 of my nails that I hadn't redone yet. Anyway, I want to go out and try to do some deliveries now. Sunday morning is my favorite time to do deliveries. And it's kind of cloudy out, which is kind of depressing, but way better for driving. Oh, it's really windy out, which is not fun. That's why I mostly secured my hair. Home finally, and it's 1 o'clock now. I really wish I hadn't wasted half my day sitting in my car waiting for Grubhub offers. I always promise myself I'm not going to do that again, and then sometimes I do, and then I feel horrible for it. Anyway, I got sick of sitting there waiting, so I decided to just run to the grocery store that I was close to and pick up yeast. And of course, as soon as I did that, I got an offer. So I got the yeast, and then I went to the restaurant to get the order, and they told me somebody else had already picked it up and that I was the 3rd person from Grubhub to come and try to pick up that same order. Shit like that happens occasionally because Grubhub just fucks up, like the app is fucked up somehow. So anyway, I just had to drop that order, and then I ended up getting another one that I accepted, and I did that one, so at least I have done something. I feel like less of a loser if I at least made a little bit of money each day. So all of the recipes in this bread machine recipe book, they all contain like unsalted butter or milk powder or eggs, which I just find really weird because those aren't like standard bread ingredients. Okay, so I'm under the impression that I can pretty much just put my bread ingredients in here and cook it and it'll be fine.
So I'm just gonna put the garlic bread ingredients in here and do the basic bread setting and see what happens.
After last night's abysmal failure, caused by my unbridled hubris and attempt at playing God, I did what I should have done in the first place and went on YouTube to watch some videos about how to use a bread machine. Basically, I did everything wrong. So I watched a few videos, I even found one of somebody who had this exact bread maker, but it was mostly just people making bread and not really explaining any of the things I had questions about. I ended up finding this YouTube video which answered every question I had and made me feel like I was ready to try again. This lady's entire channel revolves around baking and using a bread machine, so if you're as much of an idiot as I am and you've never used one before, for the love of God, watch this video. It was so helpful. So, I'm gonna be making basic bread. I learned that I can use salted butter and just reduce the amount of salt I put in by a little bit, and that instead of using milk powder and water, I can just use milk in place of the water and leave the milk powder out. So, I'm gonna use soy milk, and I've got some bread flour instead of all-purpose. So one of the things Ellen said in that video is to measure out your ingredients in grams and stop fucking around with cups and teaspoons because it's bullshit. I'm paraphrasing. I've never measured food in my life before, but I've been an online seller for a really long time, so I do have this scale that I use to weigh things for shipping, and it does grams. So I'm going to be measuring everything on here, putting it in here in the right order, and then putting it in the bread machine. Alright, I've got it set to grams. I'm going to zero it out with this on it, because that's what I'm going to measure my stuff in. First ingredient, 230 milliliters of water, but I'm using soy milk instead. Okay, I think that's as close to 230 milliliters as I'm gonna get. Now the butter. I've got this Country Crock plant butter, and I need 33 grams, or 2.5 tablespoons. Okay, so 15 grams. Okay, I feel like this is only measuring grams in intervals of 5, so it says 35, I'll just take a little bit out. Salt, 4 grams or 2/3 of a teaspoon. That's too light to even measure. But since I'm supposed to put a little bit less salt, I'll just put like half a teaspoon. Sugar, 35 grams. Which is about 2.5 tablespoons. Pretty accurate. Okay. Bread flour, 385 grams. 2 3/4 cups. Now the yeast, I'm not going to test it, I'm just going to assume it's fine. Now I'm gonna plug in the bread machine. Okay, I'm doing program 1, basic bread. It's on 1. Color, light, medium. I'll do medium for the color. Wait, I'm doing the smaller one. Takes 3 hours. And I think I can start it. Now, another thing I learned is that after a few minutes of like kneading, you're supposed to check the dough to see the consistency, to see if it's like too dry or too like wet and sticky. If it's too dry, you add more liquid, and if it's too wet, you add more flour. And then once you've checked that, then you can walk away and forget about it and just wait for it to be done. Okay, it's been kneading for 5 minutes. I paused it. And I think this is how the dough is supposed to look. It's supposed to be just a little bit tacky, but not sticky, which it is. And if it was too dry, it would be like crumbly. And if it was too wet, it would have like a bunch of dough stuck everywhere, but it's not. So I think it's good, hopefully. So I'm just gonna restart it and let it go. It's in the rising phase. It's looking pretty good.
3 hours later.
Oh my god, it smells so good. I think I need to let it sit for a while before I try to cut it. And the paddle didn't get stuck in the bottom either, so that's cool, I don't have to pull it out. Still warm, it's only been sitting for a little bit. Outside is nice and flaky, just crispy enough but not too much. The inside is like super airy and fluffy. Smells really good.